So in this video, I'm going to discuss about alternative cost distribution. It is very simple and very straight topic. So we no need to do too much customization. So if you follow the standard steps, so you could able to configure in the instance. If at all required, so we will do the little bit configuration. Apart from that, we won't do any much configuration. So if you want to make it active alternative cost distribution, so you have to follow 4 steps. One is we need to activate, okay, whether from the provisioning or we can do it from the instance also. Then you should have the permission, RBP permission, and also we can restrict this object as per the business requirement. And we have to do the configure UI, and we have to do configure people profile. So these are the 4 steps we need to be followed just to activate the functionality. Now coming to what is the difference between cost distribution from recurring payments and non-recurring payments. See, for both the pay components, okay, or for both the portlets, if you not maintain any specific cost center in the non-recurring payment, then system automatically consider the cost center from the job information section cost field. So in case if you want to mention the specific cost center, okay, so then we have to add the field in the non-recurring payments for XYZ pay component. So for example, I would say, so if the employee working for 1 or 2 months for temporarily from some other project, okay, so the billing has to be happen for that particular project. Then whatever the billing charges, we can specifically mention to the respective pay component. Okay, so in that case, I need to be added the field in the non-recurring payment. We can maintain that pay style and we can charge what is the percentage of that. Okay, so if you are not maintain any alternative cost center in the non-recurring, the system automatically take from the job information. Okay, and also in case if you are implemented a cost distributor, okay, you are implemented all the configuration. So in the specific cost distribution portlet, if you mention what is the percentage of the billing has to be happen for the XYZ cost center, okay, then first priority always goes to the cost distribution portlet, not from the job information. For example, in the cost distribution portlet, if you mention 100% as a cost, okay, all the billing has to be happen to the only that cost center which we maintained in the cost center portlet, distribution portlet, not from the job information. If you mention 50% in the cost center distribution portlet, okay, remaining 50% system automatically understood that the billing has to be happen for the job information field cost center. Okay, so these are the 3 scenarios you should be remember and you should suggest for the client. And some of the important notes, and in the cost center, SAP recommended that maximum we can maintain the 12 cost centers. Okay, another one is in the cost center, if you mention the 2 cost center, okay, so one cost center name is for example 5673, okay, if you maintain 75%, another cost center 6353 something, I cannot maintain the 50%. In the cost center distribution, the total percentage should be 100. Okay, it cannot be more than 100. In this scenario, it is 125. Okay, so this should not be the case. If possible, it should be less than 100, but it cannot be more than 100. So in that case, so for another cost center, I should maintain the 25%. Means all the billing happens to this 2 cost center which we maintained in the alternative cost center portlet. Okay, so assume 75% you maintained alternative cost center, remaining 25% system will be considered in the job information cost center. Okay, so that is the third point. If less than 100%, then it will take from the job information cost center field. Implementing the SAP SCM, so then in SAP we have the 2 portlets. One is organization assignment and cost distribution. So in the SAP SCM organization assignment, it's similar to job info portlet in SuccessFactors. Okay, in organization assignment also there is a one cost field, so we'll maintain the XYZ cost field similar to job information. And also in SAP SCM we have something called info type 27. See, here we'll maintain all the cost distribution. Okay, so we'll maintain this. For example, take the above case only 5563 something, you'll mention the 50%. Okay, for another cost center we will maintain the 30%. So in that case what happened, 80% will be taken from this input type. Okay, remaining 20% will be taken from the organization assignment. Again, the same logic in SuccessFactors also we can do that. And also syncing can be done from the respective portlets from SuccessFactors to the organization assignment as well as the cost distribution in SAP HCM. Okay, so this is very simple topic. And also if at all required, so we can customize the cost alternative cost distribution portlet also, that we will discuss. Now let's go to the system. So as I already mentioned, we can activate from the provisioning, or if you have the access to activate in the instance, we can do it from here also. Go to employee central side, from here little bit bottom, go to others. So here we have the cost distribution. So once you activate, it should be on. So then you can go to next step is configure object definition. So you can check whether this is has been set up based on any of security and all. So click on configure object definition. So this is very similar to custom portlet. So if you already know the custom portlet working on the MDF object, it's very simple. So here we can select the object definition. So here you can just enter cost distribution. So there will be two objects. Okay, so one for the parent object, another for the child object. Okay, so child object is mapped under parent object. Okay, because if you want to maintain the multiple entries, then we should have the two object. This I was already discussed in custom portlet, when should have the association and all those things. So just click on alternative cost distribution. So go to bottom. So here already we have the cost distribution item, another child object, and also here we are selected as a miscellaneous. Okay, so in that case we should go to manage permissions rules. We should have the access from the miscellaneous permissions. So click on set users permission, click on manage permissions rules. So I'm going to my rule, system admin rule. Click on permission, go to miscellaneous. So here is the alternative cost distribution. Okay, and also we should have something called alternative, I think alternative cost distribution item, they are not selected in miscellaneous, that is the reason we don't have. Okay, so this is we have selected. So as for the steps, so we have activated and we have the permission for the RBP. Now this portlet should be available in UI level, then we should configure the UI also. Okay, by the standard it will be there once you activate it. If not there, we need to be added. Go to configure UI. So check for cost distribution. Okay, so here we have the parent object and these are the fields which we are configured in the child object. Okay, so then this should be assigned it in the configure people profile. That is the fourth step. So now I am going to configure people profile. Configure people profile. So this is the demo system which is already added, but if you already worked on custom portlet, then is the same steps we can do that. So here we go to bottom. So here we have the cost distribution, payment, payroll, benefit, talent modules. Also search for cost center, distributor. Control F. See, here we have the cost distribution. Okay, so if you want to be added newly, then click on new. Okay, so then as we know, so just come to right side, so select the object. So here you can give the name under. Okay, so otherwise you can just come to here bottom. In case if you added your own configure UI, then it should be selected from the live profile MDF. So just drag and drop it here. So I think this should be removed. Remove the block. So now I'll just drag and drop it. So check whether you have the object cost distribution. So just enter cost distribution. Okay, so here also have the employee cost distribution UI. So you can select that one. Okay, so once you select that one, so based on if you added a separate as a portlet here, then again we should have the permission in the RBP. Okay, so as we know, so configure people profile, it's just replica of employee view. Okay, so if you added the cost distributor here, so then we should have the access here as well. So if you add it to the any of the portlet as a section, then you no need to be worried about. If you configure a separate section, then you should have the permission here also. Okay, so now test it. So just go to any one employee. So now my is done my requirement, so I can update the alternative cost distribution. So I can select any one cost center. So I can mention what is the percentage of that. So if you want to add any more, so just click on edit. So click on add. So just select on alternative cost center. So just if you mention the 100%. Okay, so the system is showing that the total of the percentage for all cost center must not be greater than 100. So we need to check whether it's a standard functionality or do we have any validation here. Okay, so just close here. So go to configure object definition, select the object, select the cost center. So in the parent object, so we don't have any validation rule. So if you go to the bottom, so we don't have any rule. So if you check for the child object, cost distribution item. So if you want, we can the customize also. So here also we don't have the validation. So next one is we need to check whether do you have any error in the message in UI level also. Configure UI. So I open the configure UI. So just I'm going to manage UI rules. Okay, so here also we don't have the rule. Okay, so it's a standard functionality. So SAP has built, so we cannot maintain the more than 100%. So here I just if I mention 80%, the system it will take. Okay, so why we need the alternative cost and cost distribution is just understand that as an employee, if you are working for two projects at the same time, so 50% of the billing has to be happen from the one project and 50% of the billing has to be happen from the another project. Okay, so this is just for the billing purpose. Okay, so that is the reason if at all required. So if it is a as an employee, if he is working for one project, so we no need to update anything here. Okay, so just leave it. So all the billing has to be happen for the cost center which you maintained in the job information for one employment. So if you want, you can maintain the maximum of cost center. Okay, so now if you would like to add any of the custom fields, okay, so as of now we have the only two, cost center and percentage. So if you need to be added any of the like remark field or any something like that, so as you already know, it's a working on based on the two object, so we need to be added under employee cost distribution item because this is the child object. So if I go here, so I mention here remark something like that, so it should be the string. Okay, so just I'll click on save. So it's saved now. So definitely as a experienced person, so definitely that field will not be visible in the alternative cost distribution. So we need to do little bit additional configuration once again. So I'm going back to cost center. So still I'm not able to see. So what we need to do, we have to do some configuration once again in the UI level, configure UI. So there is a two way. First one is whether we can select the complete cost center once again, alternative cost distribution. So then system it will add the remark. Assume that if you would have written any of the rules and all those things, it will be overwritten. So instead of that, what you can do, so just add one custom field. So just map it to newly added field. Okay, so what I will do, I will add field, click on edit. So instead of user value type, so all this I have already covered in details in the custom portlet, but still I am repeating once again here also. So I am selecting the resolve one. So here you can select it. So here you can go to the child object distribution. So here we have the remark field. Okay, click on OK. So click on save. So label automatically updated as per the what label we had given. So now you can cross check either if I go to edit mode, I should be able to see remark. Okay, and also if I refresh, I should be able to see. This is how you can enhance the cost center as per the requirement. So just find it for once again, cost center. So now we should be able to see the remark. So this is how we can enhance it object. So next one is coming to, as I already discussed about the non-recurring payment. So if you have not mentioned any specific cost center, then system should automatically consider from the job information. So if you want to mention specifically to the respective pay component, then I should be enhanced. So for that, go to configure, manage business configuration. Manage business configuration. Go to non-recurring pay component or portlet. So here we'll be having the alternative cost distributor. So it just, if you're not added, so you assume that it is like this, then we need to be selected manually here. Okay, so just cost center. So alternative cost center, so you can make it enable. If it is a mandatory, you can make it mandatory and do whatever you want based on the business need. So again I'm back to employee. So here I'm going to compare payroll information. So going to one-time payment, spot bonus, everything is same, just here the labels has been changed. So click on add. So here we have the alternative cost center, that field. Okay, so if you mention any of the pay component, all those expenses, whatever it may be, that will be updated to the respective cost center. At last, in case if you want to update alternative cost center portlet data as a lump sum, so after all your implementation project, so if you want to import it, okay, it's an MDF object, then it's very simple and straightforward. So just go to import and export. Import and export data. So if you want to check existed data, click on export. So as of now we are already updated for the debit, so I should be able to get that date. So you can just click on cost center or cost center distribution. Okay, so just export it. So this should be available in monitor job. Go to monitor job. So it's completed the download. So click on download now. Open the file. So go to alternative cost distribution. So we have updated for. So we have updated for this person Jan 24, 2021. Okay, so 20% and 80%. Okay, so if you want to import, prepare the similar kind of file. So just come to import and export. So instead of export, just select the import. So choose the file and import it. Okay, so this is all about the cost distribution. Coming to troubleshoot, if someone has the access for the object and all, so they cannot able to create the data. So at least if you have the option access for the import and export. Okay, so however, even though you have the access for the cost distribution here, so if you don't have the access for to create, okay, or insert, okay, so then we are not able to update it. So it means that, okay, just I will explain. Go to admin center once again. So in the under miscellaneous permissions, so alternative cost distribution, so if you don't have the create button, we are not able to upload the file. Okay, so similarly insert and correct. Okay, so if you are given like this option, so still they are not able to do that. So similarly, in case if you are given the access for the object, still if you don't have the access for the people profile, okay, under employee view, still they are not able to view in the UI level. So these are the some of the related to access. You should know that how to be control this object. Okay, so this very simple topic. Most of the clients, if you working for any of the UK project, US, they preferable for to implement this alternative cost distribution. Thanks for watching.